As of right now, the stay-at-home order goes until April 10th. And with so much uncertainty surrounding the virus, the stock market has taken a hit. I spoke with our money guy over FaceTime tonight about the government stimulus package and some smart ways you could use that money. Mike, thanks for joining us as always, even digitally here now. So let's start it off. What's in this bill?
Well, the $2 trillion bill, first of all, which is the largest recovery relief bill in American history. But $250 billion of that's going to individuals, which I think is which most of the viewers are anticipating and want to hear. $1,200 will go to every single individual who's under income of $75,000 or less. And this is adjusted gross income. A lot of people know this gross or adjusted gross. This is adjusted gross income, $400. If you have children in the home, 17 and under 17 actually, it's $500 is what the bill reads per child. It does have some phase-out provisions for people who make a little bit more income. So you can possibly get some of the stimulus if you make over these limits, but it's phasing out. But a big part of the bill is to help healthcare. It's going to actually help small businesses and extended unemployment. So that's another big part of the bill yet. It's over 1,000 pages. I haven't got through the whole thing yet. But the important part is checks are going to be going out.
Well, we appreciate people like you who are combing through all that information. You say the important thing, checks going out. The next question, of course, when?
Well, they're anticipating by April 6th. Now, they're shooting for that date. It's not a guarantee. That's when they're anticipating checks going out. Or if you're already electronically filing, that's exactly how you will get your checks by electronic filing. If you're getting by paying in by check and get your check by the mail, you're going to get it by the mail. Or if you paid in, that's how you get your checks by the mail if you didn't electronically file. You just referencing past stimuluses back in 2001, it took about 6 weeks to get checks during the Bush tax cuts. During the Great Recession in 2008, it actually took about 8 to 12 weeks. So here we're talking about really about 3 weeks or less, we should have our checks.
Now, will this stimulus package actually stimulate, spur the economy?
It really should. I mean, there's over 10 million people affected, workers right now been affected by this whole coronavirus, and they really need those funds. We've actually seen some precursors here to the stimulus package coming out where the stock market's rebounded a little bit, people anticipating the stimulus coming out. But the government is really expecting people to be spending a lot of the stimulus money to help spur the economy on, and that's what they're counting on.
Well, with your skills and professionalism, what would you suggest to the people in terms of how they spend this money?
Yeah, first of all, is eliminate debt. Some people, this is just going to be the icing on the cake for them. They didn't, their work careers didn't actually get affected like a lot of people did. But if you haven't used this money to pay off debts, and you might have accumulated debt over this last few weeks, because had to put things on your credit cards. But we have way too much debt as Americans, over $14 trillion between mortgages and credit cards and student loans. So let's focus on those bad debts, especially the student loans and the credit cards. Put that money towards that if you can. There's two methods, either the snowball method, which is you focus on that smallest debt first and get that paid off and then to the next level, or else the avalanche method, which you focus on the highest interest rate. So either way, just focus on getting rid of debt.
Mike, we have you come on often, and you're always talking about an emergency fund. Can this stimulus package maybe go to someone's personal emergency fund?
Exactly. I think this is where the rubber meets the road right now. I've been preaching on this on WCCO for the last few years about why we need to have an emergency fund, and I don't think a lot of people have taken it serious until we're in a time of need like this. And if you didn't have an emergency fund, you end up putting things on your credit card, and that's what a lot of Americans have done. Over half Americans didn't have anything aside. So this is proof that we need to have at least 3 to 6 months of your expenses set aside to cover for emergency funds. So that should be, maybe even ahead of paying off debt, get that set aside to make sure that you were never in a bad situation like this again.
Well, Mike, thank you for bringing your financial expertise to us every week, but especially during these trying times. Thank you, Mike.
You're welcome, Jeff. Thank you.